The Bugatti Chiron is a car which is known for the outstanding straight line performance in combination with the luxury comfort.
Each car 5 million, and they were all sold within 4 weeks.
$4.4 million. Not a mansion, not a private jet, a car, and the world's most secretive buyers lined up years before it even had a name. The Bugatti Tourbillon didn't just arrive. It rewrote what a hypercar is allowed to be. But here's what the press releases won't tell you. The real story behind the Tourbillon started long before the reveal. A hidden engineering decision, a rival that pushed Bugatti to the edge, and a number that makes even billionaires hesitate. The wait is over. The truth is darker than the headlines. Stay with us, because what we uncover next changes everything. The end of an era. Goodbye to the W16. For 20 years, one engine ruled the world of hypercars. The Bugatti W16, a massive 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged monster, was the heart of the Veyron in 2004, and then the Chiron in 2016. It pushed out 1,001 horsepower in the Veyron. In the Chiron, it went all the way to 1,500 horsepower.
Bugatti Chiron Supersport has an 8-litre quad-turbo W16, 1,600 horsepower.
The Chiron set a top speed record of 304 miles per hour. Cars with this engine sold for $3 million, and people lined up for years to get one. But here is the thing nobody saw coming. By 2021, Bugatti was in a tough spot. The world was changing fast. Electric cars were growing. New rules around fuel and emissions were getting stricter every year. The W16, as brilliant as it was aging. It needed a replacement, but replacing a legendary engine is not something you rush. Even though the Chiron was still on top of its game with the 1,500 PS W16 quad-turbocharged engine, the hypercar started to show its wrinkles. There were also financial difficulties that prevented Bugatti from replacing it quickly. And then, something unexpected happened. A young Croatian engineer named Rimac walked through the door. By 2021, the industry's shift toward electrification made Bugatti's heavy internal combustion focus a strategic liability. The solution? A bold merger that nobody predicted. On November 1, 2021, one of the motoring world's most exciting partnerships started under its new structure, Bugatti Rimac. The new company was owned by Rimac Group at 55% and Porsche AG at 45%. The CEO of this new company was Rimac.
I'm Rimac, founder and CEO of Rimac Automobili.
An electric hypercar pioneer who had founded his company in a garage just 12 years earlier. Just let that sink in. A guy who started his company in a garage was now running one of the most historic car brands in the world. The pressure to deliver something extraordinary was enormous. The W16 era was officially closing. The question was, what comes next? That question would take years to answer. The man behind the vision. Before we get to the Tourbillon itself, you need to understand the man who built it. Rimac was born in 1988 in Croatia. As a teenager, he was obsessed with cars and electronics. In 2009, at just 21 years old, he converted an old BMW into an electric car in his garage and then won drag races against Ferraris and Porsches with it. People laughed. Then they stopped laughing. He built his company, Rimac Automobili, from that garage. By 2021, Rimac was building the Nevera, a fully electric hypercar that broke more than 20 world speed records and went from 0 to 60 miles per hour.
Nevera, we broke 50-ish world records. Some of them are serious ones like acceleration and top speed and so on.
In under 1.85 seconds. The Nevera became the fastest accelerating production car on the planet. Rimac, who founded Rimac Automobili in his garage when he was 21, had stunned the industry with his rise. His company now makes the Nevera all-electric hypercar, producing over 2,000 horsepower from 4 electric motors, and also has a lucrative business selling consulting and building parts for other automakers. Now, this same man was tasked with something different. Not an electric-only future, but a careful bridge between the raw emotion of combustion engines and the power of electrification. Mate Rimac had a tough choice to make. The Nevera proved he could go fully electric, but Bugatti's customers wanted something else. They wanted an engine they could hear. They wanted drama. They wanted something that felt alive. Mate Rimac said the development of the Bugatti Tourbillon was guided at every step by the 115 years of Bugatti history, and the words of Ettore Bugatti himself: "If comparable, it is no longer Bugatti, and nothing is too beautiful." So instead of going fully electric, Rimac chose a path that surprised the entire automotive world. He chose a V16, the engine nobody expected. Here is where the story gets truly exciting. In the year 2024, when every other car maker was rushing toward electric motors and turbochargers, Bugatti went in the opposite direction. They built a completely new, naturally aspirated V16 engine. No turbochargers, no superchargers, just raw engineering, 16 cylinders, and a red line that screams,
Car comes with a 16-cylinder gas engine, a 3 powerful electric motors.
At the heart of the Tourbillon sits a new, naturally aspirated 8.3-liter V16 engine, co-developed with Cosworth, that revs to 9,000 RPM. Let that number sit for a second. 9,000 RPM. Most modern turbocharged engines peak at 6,500 to 7,000 RPM. This engine goes further, higher, louder, and the sound it makes at full throttle is something no electric motor can ever copy. But why no turbochargers? Think about it this way. Turbochargers give you power, but they also give you delay. That small pause between pressing the gas and feeling the push, engineers call it turbo lag. Bugatti did not want that. They wanted every single input from the driver to be felt instantly, directly, without anything getting in the way. Bugatti walked away from the quad-turbo W16 that defined the Veyron and Chiron. In its place sits an 8.4-liter V16.
This is Bugatti's new 8.3-litre V16 engine that's due to go into the successor to the Chiron.
With 0 turbochargers, built with help from Cosworth. The reason, according to Bugatti, was emotion. The team wanted a louder, sharper, more visceral engine note, and they wanted the freedom to rev to 9,000 RPM. Cosworth, the same British engineering company that builds engines for Formula One, helped develop this V16 from the ground up. This was not a modified old design. This was a blank page. A completely fresh engine built for one purpose: to be the most exciting naturally aspirated engine ever put into a road car. And the architecture of this engine is unlike anything else on the road today. A crossplane crank design for a sharper, more aggressive sound. A 90-degree bank angle keeps the engine compact and low in the chassis. Dry sump lubrication allows a lower center of gravity. A 9,000 RPM red line is almost unheard of in modern hypercars.
Now this is a naturally aspirated motor that revs to 9,000 RPM and makes 1,000 brake horsepower.
0 turbochargers going directly against every industry trend. That crankshaft alone is 1 meter long. 1 full meter of spinning metal. Perfectly balanced, moving at 9,000 revolutions every single minute. The engineering needed to make that work reliably, safely and smoothly inside a road car is staggering. This next-generation Bugatti Hypersports car is powered by an all-new 8.3-liter naturally aspirated V16 engine, engineered with the help of Cosworth, paired with a front E-axle, with 2 electric motors and 1 electric motor mounted at the rear axle. So it is a hybrid, but not in the boring, fuel-saving way you might think. The 3 electric motors do not replace the V16. They work alongside it. The electric motors fire the moment you press the throttle. Instant torque, 0 delay. While the V16 climbs up through its rev range and takes over with that screaming, mechanical power that only a naturally aspirated engine can deliver. Together, the system produces a combined 1,775 horsepower. The car goes from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2 seconds, and its top speed is 276 miles per hour. For scale, a Boeing 737 takes off at around 160 miles per hour. This car goes nearly 100 miles per hour faster than a passenger jet lifting off the runway. The electric powertrain can spin up to 24,000 RPM and is also capable of delivering up to 37 miles of electric range from its 25 kilowatt-hours, 800-volt battery. So yes, you can drive a Bugatti Tourbillon in complete silence through a city. No noise, no emissions, just a $4.4 million car gliding through traffic like any other vehicle. And then, when you reach the open road, you wake the V16 up. And it does not just wake up, it roars. Nobody was expecting this combination. Not the critics who assumed Bugatti would go fully electric. Not the competitors who were all chasing more turbochargers and bigger batteries. Not even the most devoted Bugatti fans who thought the W16 was irreplaceable. Bugatti replaced it with something better, something rawer, something that will still sound incredible 50 years from now because a great engine never gets old. And then Bugatti showed the world the inside of this car and jaws dropped all over again. Built like a watch. Most $4.4 million cars are luxurious. The Tourbillon is something beyond luxury. It is handcrafted to a level that most people never see outside of a museum. Let's start with the dashboard, because this is where Bugatti did something that has never been done before in any car at any price. The instrument cluster is constructed by Swiss horologists, built to precise watchmaking tolerances, featuring over 600 components. 600 components in a dashboard. Stop and think about that for a moment. A Rolex Daytona, one of the most respected watches in the world, has around 280 moving parts inside it. The Tourbillon's instrument cluster has more than double that number, crafted from titanium, sapphire, and ruby.
Also, the instrument cluster is housed in a titanium housing. There's real ruby stone bearings. It's covered in sapphire glass. It is
the same materials that go into the world's finest wristwatches are now sitting in front of the driver's seat of a hypercar. This is not decoration. Every single part of that cluster moves, measures, and communicates. It is a working mechanical instrument assembled by hand, by the same kind of craftsmen who build luxury watches in Switzerland. The Tourbillon features a steering wheel with a fixed central hub where only the outer rim rotates, allowing the instrument cluster to remain visible at all times. Read that again slowly. The steering wheel turns around the dials. The dials stay perfectly still, so no matter how hard you are pushing through a corner, no matter how much you are turning the wheel, your speed, your revs, your power output are always right in front of you. Clear, unobstructed. Exactly where your eyes need them. Every gauge is analog. There is no digital screen flashing numbers at you. No touchscreen telling you what to do. Unlike past Bugatti models, the Tourbillon does feature a center infotainment screen, but it retracts into the dashboard when not in use. The center panel is made from machined aluminum and machined crystal glass. When you do not need the screen, it disappears. Gone. Hidden. What remains is clean, pure mechanical beauty. Why did Bugatti make these choices? The answer is actually quite simple. Think about a phone from 2014. It felt modern then. Today it looks completely outdated. Digital technology ages fast sometimes within just a few years. Bugatti did not want that problem. For a car designed to be displayed on the concours lawns of this and the next centuries, technology can easily date. The Tourbillon therefore uses as many timeless components as possible, including a completely analog instrument cluster crafted by Swiss watchmakers.
Human-machine interfacing between operating the vehicle and displaying information at the driver in an analog fashion. Steering wheel. As you can see, the airbag and the instrument cluster stay.
This car is being built for eternity. Not this decade, not the next. For the generations of collectors who will own it long after we are gone. Crystal glass, exposed aluminium, and the finest leathers celebrate authentic materiality, designed to age with the same elegance as a fine mechanical timepiece. Now the doors. The Tourbillon features dramatic butterfly doors that integrate with the roof for easy entry and exit. They rise upward and outward in one smooth motion, not like a Lamborghini scissor door that swings forward, not like a gull wing that goes straight up. These doors move in a wide, sweeping arc, and the aerodynamic shape of the car stays completely clean even when they are fully open. Getting into this car is an event by itself. Inside, the seats are fixed to the floor, lower, lighter, and more solid than any adjustable seat could ever be. Instead of moving the seat to fit you, the pedal box slides back and forth electronically. The car adjusts around the driver, not the other way around. And to start the engine, the center console is crafted from a single block of anodized aluminium and crystal glass, and houses a pull switch to start the engine. A pull switch, like winding a fine clock, deliberate, tactile, satisfying in a way that pressing a button could never be. Every single decision inside the Tourbillon was made with one question in mind. Will this still feel special in 100 years? If the answer was yes, it stayed. If the answer was no, it was replaced with something better. Nothing in here is accidental. Nothing is here just to look expensive. Everything serves a purpose, and serves it beautifully. The body, the numbers, and why 250 cars is all you get. Now let's talk about what Bugatti built on the outside, and the numbers that make the Tourbillon one of the rarest cars ever made. The design of the Tourbillon started in a wind tunnel in Italy. 15 months before the Tourbillon's reveal to the world, Bugatti's finest engineers and aerodynamicists worked at a state-of-the-art wind tunnel facility in Italy.
Everything about the tunnel was done to be done as efficiently as possible. This facility, in tandem working with our scale wind tunnel.
Their focus, a beautifully constructed half-scale model of the Tourbillon. This test subject was crafted from 250 individual 3D printed components, fitted with over 100 pressure taps around the model's body panels. Every surface, every curve, every vent on this car was tested and retested at speeds above 400 kilometers per hour. The design follows Bugatti's 4 signature elements: the horseshoe grille, the Bugatti line, the central ridge, and the dual color split. But everything is lower, wider, and more aggressive than the Chiron before it. The headlights, mounted on what Bugatti calls the flying fenders, serve a functional purpose, channeling air through the body to feed the radiators and side intakes. Out back, 124 LEDs form a single monoblock taillight bar, with the Bugatti script glowing at the center. The rear wing? It only deploys when needed. At top speed 276 miles per hour, the car stays stable even without the wing deployed, thanks to how carefully the body was shaped in that Italian wind tunnel. And the weight? Despite being a hybrid with a battery, 3 electric motors, and all that Swiss watchmaking inside, the Tourbillon weighs just 1,995 kilograms, 1 kilogram lighter than the Chiron it replaces. The chassis is fabricated from the latest carbon composite materials. The battery has been incorporated into the monocoque structure itself, while the diffuser also forms part of the rear crash structure, like Formula One cars. The suspension parts are 3D printed using AI-assisted design. They are 45% lighter than the Chiron suspension, yet just as strong. Now here is the number that hit the hardest: 250 cars. That is all. Bugatti will only build around 80 tourbillons per year. That works out to roughly one car every 4 days. Production wraps up in 2029, and the company has confirmed it will not extend the run. No matter how many checks get waved around, 250 is the cap, and every single one of those 250 cars was already spoken for before the factory began building them. The Bugatti Chiron successor 2026 sold out before a single production unit rolled off the line. Bugatti handpicks buyers, often choosing existing owners and long-standing collectors. New names face a steep climb, and most allocations have already filtered through the brand's most loyal clients. To put it simply, if you do not already have a relationship with Bugatti, your chances of buying a tourbillon are close to zero. The people who got one are not just wealthy. They are the kind of collectors who have owned multiple Bugattis before and have proven their loyalty to the brand over the years. The tourbillon is not a car you buy at a dealership. It is a car you are invited to purchase. The Bugatti Tourbillon price starts at 3.8 million euros, which is approximately $4.1 million USD before taxes. Final pricing varies based on customization, and most cars cost well over $5 million fully optioned. Every tourbillon is hand-assembled at Bugatti's new atelier, inside the grounds of Château Saint-Jean in Molsheim, France. Some buyers reportedly skipped customization options entirely just to move up in the delivery queue. When supply is this tight, getting the car faster matters more than choosing the right paint color. More than speed and money here is something that does not come through in the spec sheets. The Bugatti Tourbillon is not just a fast car with an expensive interior. It is a statement, a bold, deliberate statement about what a performance car should be, and why that still matters in a world that is moving faster toward electric motors every single year. Look at what is happening right now across the entire industry. Tesla has been selling electric cars for over a decade and pushing every other brand to keep up. Rimac built the Nevera, the fastest accelerating production car on Earth.
Rimac's Nevera has 1,914 horsepower. It has over 2,000 Newton meters of torque.
With zero combustion, zero cylinders, just 4 electric motors, and instant torque. Even Ferrari, a brand that built its identity entirely around the sound of a naturally aspirated V12, is now making hybrid and fully electric models. Porsche has the Taycan. McLaren has hybrids. Lamborghini has hybrids. The direction is clear. The whole industry is heading one way. And Bugatti, owned by the same man who built the Rimac Nevera, the poster child for electric performance, looked at all of that and made a different choice. They chose the V16. They chose the sound. They chose the emotion. The Bugatti Tourbillon is one of the most significant hypercars of the modern era, sitting at the cusp of Bugatti transitioning to electrification, but doing it to spectacular effect, with a high-revving, naturally aspirated V16 engine, deliberately chosen to preserve mechanical drama and emotion over brute-forced induction. That word deliberately is the most important one in that sentence. This was not a compromise. This was not Bugatti failing to go electric because they could not figure it out. Monte Rimac, the man running Bugatti, already knows exactly how to build a world-class electric hypercar. He proved it with the Nevera. He chose the V16 anyway, on purpose, because he understood something that a spec sheet cannot explain. A great engine is not just a power source. It is a personality. It breathes. It builds. It rewards you for pushing harder. When a naturally aspirated V16 climbs from idle all the way to 9,000 RPM, the sound changes at every step. It is alive in a way that an electric motor, no matter how fast, simply is not. 20 years after Bugatti invented the hypersports car, it redefines the concept completely, with an entirely new powertrain and platform. The Tourbillon proves there is still a place for an engine that sings. That performance does not have to be silent. That the greatest driving machines are not measured only in 0 to 60 times and top speed figures, they are measured in the feeling they leave with you long after you park them. Now what happens next for Bugatti? With Rimac now in full control of Bugatti, there is an avenue to expand Rimac's footprint around global markets, notably in the US, which is Bugatti's largest market. Each Bugatti flagship has had a lifespan of about a decade. The Tourbillon will replace the 2016-era Chiron, which in turn succeeded the 2005 Veyron, so we could see an all-electric hypercar from Molsheim in 2035 or so. Read that carefully. An all-electric Bugatti, possibly by 2035, which means the Tourbillon may be the last Bugatti that roars. The last one, where you can hear all 16 cylinders working at full stretch. The last machine where Bugatti put an analog soul inside a carbon fiber body and said, "This is what driving should feel like." The 250 people who bought one understood this before anyone else did. They were not just buying performance. They were not buying status. They were buying a specific moment in automotive history. The exact point where 115 years of combustion engineering met the beginning of an electric future and shook hands at 276 miles per hour.
It will be limited to 445 kilometers per hour with a top speed key.
Almost 280 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That moment will not come again. The Tourbillon is not simply the successor to the Chiron, but the reinvention of the hypersports car itself. And when the last one rolls out of Molsheim in 2029, there will be no second batch, no special edition, no extension, just 250 cars, and a sound that the world will not hear from Bugatti again. Some moments only happen once. The Bugatti Tourbillon is one of them. So that is the full story of the Bugatti Tourbillon. A 115-year-old brand, a garage entrepreneur with a vision, a brand new V16 engine that no one expected. A watchmaker's instrument cluster is built into a car worth $4.4 million. And 250 people on this planet will get to experience all of it. Whether you will ever own one or not, this car changed what we thought was possible in 2024. And if this video gave you something new to think about, something you did not know before, then do us a favor right now. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Would you pick the Tourbillon or something else entirely? We will see you in the next one.